Hello, good morning. My name is Bruno Zarpelon. I'm head of innovation and sustainability at the German Brazilian Chamber of São Paulo. And firstly, I would like to thank you for taking part in today's event. I hope the connection is good. You can hear me and the video is okay. If no, please send a message here in the comments. And so to start our event, I'd like to share some words with you. As most participants today are German, I think that's not necessary to go deeper about what a HK is, but I'd like to share some words about our chamber here in São Paulo. São Paulo, guys, is the city with the most German companies in the world. That's a very curious thing. And our member companies represent 10% of the industrial Brazilian GDP. This makes our chamber here in São Paulo the largest chambers in the world. And it's also important to say that we were founded 106 years ago. So we have started for a long time our initiatives here in Brazil. And it's also important to share with you some words about why our chamber are focusing also in the innovation and the open innovation and also in the startups ecosystem from both countries. In terms of these topics, innovation and open innovation, we have been working on this for 10 years and we have been ranked among the 10 top startups ecosystems in Brazil for the last 4 years. That's something that's very important for us. And as a platform, our main goal is to promote the connection between member companies and startups, as well as to promote the connection between the ecosystem from Brazil and Germany. And so far, we have established more than 3,000 connections between companies and startups in Brazil. But from now on, we are focused more in the bilateral cooperation between both countries. As we have already established our initiatives in Brazil, our main goal now, as I said, is really to promote not only the connection between German companies in Brazil and startups in Brazil, but also the connection between startups and Brazilian companies with German and Brazilian startups and companies as well. And as well, some investors like to put in connection with both countries. We strongly believe that the cooperation between Brazil and Germany in the startup field can be strategic for both countries. Brazil is Germany's biggest partners in Latin America. And this year, the partnerships get stronger due to the geopolitical situation that we're seeing, but also the alignment between the two governments. So we have a very interesting opportunity now that we can explore between both countries. It's also important to say that Brazil represents the most important startup ecosystems in Latin America, being São Paulo the best cities for startups in this region. And keep this information in mind. Our chamber, together with other important partners, such as the 100 Open Startups, German Entrepreneurship, Berlin Partner, some IHKs as well, is promoting some initiatives to strengthen the cooperation between both countries in the startups field, starting with today's event. So from now on, we are offering for you a whole journey to promote these connections, to promote the internationalization of startups, but also to promote new business connections, new opportunities, as well new investments between both countries through some events, some content, but also through a immersion that we will launch in the end of this event. And in addition to promoting the local ecosystems, success stories, opportunities, challenges, our local assets, these events today and other initiatives that we'll be launching soon, as I just said, aims to promote new business cooperation and investments between both ecosystems. So now that you have already a context about what and why we are promoting this event, I would like to share the word with Bruno Rondani. Bruno Rondani is from 100 Open Startups. It's a very important institution in Brazil that will promote the more open innovation. And Open 100 Startups is also one of our partners to promote this journey of cooperation between both countries. So Bruno, I'd like to invite you to join me here. Let me see. Okay. And Bruno now will explain a little bit more about the role of the 100 Open Startups in this initiative. And we also present some facts about our local ecosystems in the open innovation in Brazil. So, Bruno, thank you a lot for being here, and feel free to start your pitch.
Great. Thank you, Bruno. Very nice to be with you again. We are always together developing this Brazilian ecosystem, and you all always bringing us new opportunities and especially these connections with Germany. So I'm very glad to be here. Present a little bit of our work, some of our main results here as an ecosystem for open innovation and focusing in the connection with startups, and also the invitation that we have for German companies, startups, investors, ecosystem players to come to join to make more and more partnerships that has been already successfully being promoted by uh, uh, how to say in English, AHK. We say
HK.
HK here. um, so it's one of the top ecosystems here promoting innovation. So let me introduce by we have this journey now of 15 years. I've been an entrepreneur myself, previous to starting this movement on open innovation, because I really had this personal opportunity to work on open innovation with the startup I was running and also a larger company. Then I went for a PhD and I connected with Professor Chesbro. He was starting innovation centers around the world. So I was a partner for Brazil. So we started in 2008 with this Open Innovation Week event that will connect managers on open innovation in Brazil. Some year after, the interest of the network for startups started to grow. And then we connected to another professor, very important in the world of entrepreneurship, Sara Sarasvatis, and we developed this concept of open startups, where we started to promote the connections, and we developed a ranking system and a training process for executives to be able to create value from this ecosystem. And now we are celebrating this 15 years anniversary of Open Innovation Week, and this is part of what I would like to share with you, what we prepare for this moment. So Open Startup is a leading platform for open innovation. Our ambition here is to help companies identify startups that have the potential to transform their markets. We started in collaboration with some other countries. So we started Open Startup in Brazil, Colombia, and India. We had a group of 106 founding members when we started. Today, we have more than 7,000 corporations connected to our system, to our platform, and 25,000 startups. So I'll present a little bit of how we build it and the results we have and the opportunities that we will offer for this international collaboration. So we started by connecting corporations by their main goals on innovation, as we call grand challenges. We had a cooperation with all these different actors in Brazil. They will help us to select or to evaluate startups together with executives from corporations, investors, and then this would help to create startups for open innovation programs for corporations, and then we'll measure the intensity and the volume of those agreements, and we'll give prizes in this ranking process for the startups and the corporations. So how it works, a corporation, when they have a contract on open innovation with the startup, they can register and request claim for the points, and the same for the startup. So both sides have to validate, and then we do the auditing, and if it's valid, what they claim as number of points. So then we have a score, and we have a lot of data that we can share as well with the same corporations that are part of the network and the startups, and also public policies, ecosystem players, um, also for investors. So we've been known now by doing that work. and I'll share just some of what is happening over this last 7 years. First, to mention that this practice, open innovation with startup, has been growing, almost doubling every year. This year, it's a tough year for the startup ecosystem with some adjustments in the venture capital world, but open innovation is still growing. So we see already a 30% growth this year, 2023. But till last year, we almost double every year, so almost 100 times of growth. When we started with 108 startups, last year we had 380, uh, no, 3,821 startups that had agreements with more than 4,000 companies, more than 4,000 corporations. We already have long longi- longitudinal, how to say, um, view of the evolution of how corporations increase the volume of their activities. So if we take the companies that create open innovation programs formally, they also double the intensity of what they do year by year, and this explains why we are growing and with more and more companies, and will probably continue to grow. So we are still at the beginning of this curve. Um, Also, another important thing for us is that although we might have maybe some say 12 to 20,000 startups nowadays in Brazil, active startups. Um, we measure the startup that have open innovation agreements with corporations. So last year we had this 3,800, but we had more corporations at the beginning of the pandemic. The number of corporations joining this ecosystem uh, was higher than the number of startups with agreements with corporations. So that's very interesting to see. And then we can see almost all the main sectors in Brazil opening up. This is just a view of um, uh, the size of activity of open innovation activity measured by this score system that we have for the ranking. And some of those sectors I will highlight, I think is of the interest in this partnership with the Brazilian Germany Chamber. Just another information that I think it's very interesting is when a new company comes to this Brazilian ecosystem. So a Brazilian company, or I believe that will happen also with foreign companies in Brazil. In the first years, only 1 out of 4 would get in their first year an agreement with a startup. Now it's 3 out of 4. So if a new company joins the ecosystem, 3 of them will have at least one agreement. And at the beginning, we started with very big corporations, so branded companies, enterprise companies with more than 10,000 employees. But more and more, open innovation is being practiced by companies of all sizes. So we have this curve, this long tail being formed with more than 4,000 corporations doing open innovation activities with startups. And also we have a view of Brazil. So we have here by state, but we can also show by cities. But the state of São Paulo is the first with 46% of the activity on open innovation, then Minas Gerais, Santa Catarina, Rio de Janeiro, and so on. So this is interesting for you to see opportunities, uh, density, and I think that there is advantages to go to other places as well. Um, and take a look now to what happened to the startups. We see that year by year, this methodology of highlighting companies as they are well or better evaluated, it creates a lot of value for the startups. So to make it clear here, we prove that this open startups approach really helped the startups to grow. So if we take our first batch, the value of this batch is already above $2 billion. So it's a 20 times multiple that we have, and that will put this portfolio of this top 100 as the top one performance in Brazil and top 4% if compared to American VCs. So this is very relevant. We already have one unicorn formed during our journey called Hotmart, another one um, from the first batch of open startup Neon, and some other cases. Solidis is a company that is growing very fast. Some other scale ups that achieve investments higher than what would be equivalent to Series A, and M&As between startups and corporations, and even larger startups buying new startups. So just some of the deals to have a view. So it's a lot of different kind of examples. We have some mergers. We have traditional companies buying startups. We have the VCs, corporate VCs, and everything. And just to highlight also the main corporations. So in Brazil last year we had Ambev, Suzano, and ArcelorMittal as top three, and you have these big brands, multinational companies, but also Brazilian companies in the top 20, top 50, top 100, just to have a quick view on what kind of company do we have. The main result I believe that we achieve here is a very connected ecosystem. Almost all sectors are open, are bringing new startups and connecting them to a larger ecosystem where we see a lot of collaboration. And also, when a sector opens up to the ecosystem, to the startup ecosystem, they don't look only for their core business, but they connect to different communities in a very intense manner. So we can show, for instance, I highlighted here some sectors that might be of the interest in this relation with Germany. So if we take consumer goods and food, we have the top 10, very known company, Ambev, Nestlé, BRF, Unilever, and so on. But we have in our ranking system 245 corporations that have agreements with 679 startups last year. Then we have the number of contracts and also the amount of money estimated of the contracts they have signed. And we do that for all the sectors. So I just highlighted some for might be of your interest. So mining and metal, electrical energy, renewable energy, agribusiness, construction, real estate, forestry, pulp and paper, automotive industry. And then you see some different profiles, different numbers, some more concentrated markets, some with higher number of startup, some that are still opening up. Um, so just to have a view on some of them. So oil and gas is getting it's increasing with the participation of Petrobras. They started a little later than the others, but now they are doing a lot of things. Sanitation, it's a new market that has been also promoted in the last few years. Um, the health industry, transportation, logistics, and I could go on and show you all the 30 different sectors that we have mapped with this ranking system. So let's talk about a little bit of how are we celebrating and the context behind this invitation that we are making for global partners. So international startups, investors, corporations that would like to expand their open innovation programs and outreach Brazilian or maybe Latin startups. We're going to host a big event in Brazil. It's going to be in Rio de Janeiro for some reasons. So although the main activity, the economic activity is in São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro is being promoted as um, a very active hub to attract investment to Brazil. So we partner with Rio Innovation Week, which is a very huge event of about 100,000 people in the center of the city. So this is gonna happen in October 3 to 6. But our focus in this event is to generate business in innovation, so as we call open innovation. Let me just go through this quick video about the city of Rio. So this is prepared by the mayor of the city of Rio, just to have a feeling of what's gonna happen.
You already know that Rio de Janeiro is the world capital of joy. But did you know we are one of the most innovative cities on the planet? The first innovation came from the start, a city squeezed between the sea and the mountains. Will it work? It did. We were the only overseas capital of a European kingdom, the first South American city to host the Olympic Games. And we are the soul of the largest country in the Southern Hemisphere. Creativity is in the shapes, symbols, everyday life, and inventions that fascinated the world in the 20th century. Samba, bossa nova, and Brazilian soccer were born here. And now, in the 21st century, Rio is reinventing itself to be the capital of innovation in Latin America. By the way, our continent is the world's new tech frontier, and Rio de Janeiro is at the core of this trend. First, because innovation is in our DNA. Second, because beauty can't hurt, right? And third, because the City Hall is working hard for this, making Rio the simplest and most inviting place of the continent to start a business, simplifying and cutting taxes for technology companies, providing security and advantages to test innovative solutions, training skilled labor for the present and for the future. It is no wonder that technology companies keep coming to the renovated port area, one of the most vibrant zones in the city. This is the area where the largest innovation and education hub in Latin America is being built. It'll bring together startups, investors, and research centers, and host the first undergraduate course from the Institute of Pure and Applied Mathematics, a worldwide reference. We have also created a program to stimulate green economy, launched the plan to attract digital nomads to the city, and Rio de Janeiro residents can now even pay taxes using cryptocurrency. Thus, in short, the best place in the world to invest, innovate, and be happy is here and now. Rio, the capital of innovation and joy. You already know that Rio de Janeiro is
promoted by the city of Rio, and with this invitation we received, we are gonna host Open Innovation Week in Rio, where we will bring and the estimates we have, and this is based on the evolution of our event year by year. So we measure the number of structure programs on open innovation when you have defined what you're looking for. So this year we're gonna host 1,000 corporations with open innovation programs, 2,500 startups. So that's basically what we are proposing for this event. And 2,000 of those startups will come from Brazil, so they'll be curated by our ranking methodology. And 500, it's an invitation to international startups to come to Brazil and also use the same methodology, same platform, also to connect to corporations, investors, and other startups and ecosystem players here in Brazil. So basically, what we do is we curate the startups for the challenges and what is being offered by or proposed by the corporations, um, and a way also to show and to highlight, and this could be used by anyone that has open innovation cases, a way to get to our stage and be promoted on the stage. We have this first international congress on open innovation cases, so this was a request from our committee, so we started this as an opportunity to hear, and I'll bring some of the cases now for you in the panel, but just to end my presentation, a little bit of how it works, the open innovation week. Okay, so this is a little of what I would like to show about what's happening in this open innovation scene in Brazil, and the opportunity we have. And now, Bruno, I think in the program we have here, we selected 3 startups from the program that could share a little bit of their development and partnerships and cases. So can we move
Bruno,
on to
just 1
yeah.
minute. Sorry. I would like, first of all, thank you for the presentation. And I'd like also to highlight just 2 topics that you bring your pitch. One is that Brazil is not only a huge country regarding size, but we have also a huge market, huge different markets in different sectors, and also a huge startup ecosystems. And as you explained, we have a really very nice opportunities locally and a very strong open innovation initiative happening here locally. And for you that's taking part in the event today, it's also important to say that through the delegation that you present at the end of this event today, you have the opportunity to take part in the O Innovation Week, in Rio Innovation Week, and to get in contact and to also uh, get the benefits of the events that Bruno just showed to you. So to keep in mind these events that Bruno presents, because when we explain the delegation that we're organizing to Brazil, to the Brazilian startup ecosystems, we also talk about it because you take part in this event through the delegation. So just these 2 topics, Bruno, that I'd like to highlight. And now, as Bruno has already said, we will have a panel to listen a little bit more about the experience from Brazilian startups regarding open innovation and activities related to the industry of the future. Thank you, Bruno.
Thank you for those highlights, Bruno. So I propose here for Daniel Moura from Pix4, CEO of Pix4, André C, CEO of Future, and Lucas Madureira, CEO of Gedanken, to join us. So they will. We asked them to have like a quick presentation about what they do. So if we can start with Daniel, and then Andrea, and then Lucas, it's okay.
All right. Good morning. Can you hear me fine? Yeah,
Yes.
thank you for the invitation, Brunos, both Brunos. It's a pleasure to be here. Let me present my screen here. Screen well?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, good. Hello, I'm Daniel Moura, founder and CEO of Pix4. Visual inspections are everywhere. When we think about any type of industry, you always have somebody inspecting a process visually. The problem is people make mistakes. So eventually, You can have injuries, fire, messy documents. We should rely on machines to do this type of visual inspections. It's faster, better, cheaper, and safer. This is exactly what PixForce does. We are a deep tech startup, and we apply artificial intelligence to several different visual inspections in industries. We work for major clients such as Shell, Petrobras, Equinor, and we are working in different sectors such as oil and gas, power, mining. We have 115 people. We started 7 years ago, and we have over 30 masters and PhDs, which helps a lot in the open innovation cases. Very quickly, some of our products, Pix Counter, it's a way to count anything. In this case, gas cylinders in a truck that's moving. Or you can use our mobile app to count steel bars with a very high precision, greater than 99.5%. Peak safety, we basically turn any security camera into sensors. So always when somebody is in a risky situation, we send an alert without any human intervention. Pix Docs, we extract information from documents. It's an intelligent OCR. So it doesn't matter the language, here's Arabic, or it doesn't matter if the document is structured. This case is a CV. And you say, okay, I want the name, I want the address and the email, the qualification. Boom, our system is going to extract and organize all the information without anybody reviewing or typing. Or we can match documents. We can match if the driver's license and the address document is from the same person. Again, very quickly and very scalable. We are very proud of being ranked the #1 AI startup in Brazil for the past 5 years, according to the 100 Open Startups ranking. And also the startup tour, Germany tour, we were invited by the Germany Chamber and went to Germany 2 years ago and were the first place there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daniel. So now let's hear about future, André.
Yes, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Well, I am André C. I'm the managing partner of Future. And once I learned from my professor, there is the question that we make are more important than the answers. So we should make the right questions, right? Today, I realize that the right questions move the world. But when we see the world, we may figure it out. This is how it should be, or this is that how it works. But for innovators like us, we see the world and ask ourselves, why not? Why not should be a motto for the people who want to drive the world for a better future and help to build a better society, more developed, more inclusive, a better world for all. I have been in so many countries around the world since I was born, so many cultures, so many different worlds on earth. And I realized that Brazil has so many qualified people, intellectual capital, people skill, soft skills, relationships, how to deal with different cultures and people. We are so diverse in Brazil. We are good on that. But we can learn a lot with German culture and organizations. Process, discipline, organization, outstanding infrastructure, engineering, precision, reborn, and how to deal with so many challenges. Our both culture, Brazilian and German, together has a huge potential to amazing outcomes, synergy, to make 1 + 1 more than 2. That's our purpose, to build a better future together with artificial intelligence. And again, why not? So let's make a better future together with Future Smart Solutions. Future is specialized in the artificial intelligence, and our solutions are applying some of the biggest companies, such as Enel, Light, Petrobras, SHV Energy, Brookfield, Iberdrola, Equatorial Energy, and beyond. Unfortunately, I don't have so much time, but I would like to share my screen. if I have. Are you seeing my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet?
No.
Yes?
I'm not seeing it.
No?
Yeah, now it's going.
Okay, no problem, no problem. So,
Andre,
yes?
please, you can share again. I was seeing your screen down here, but just put it on the presentation you're gonna use, please.
Okay, it's right. Are you seeing?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Loading. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So thank you so much, people. And well, as I said, our purpose is to apply the state-of-the-art of artificial intelligence to democratize AI benefits and improve our society. So for this mission, we rely on 37 high-skilled artificial intelligence and computer vision specialists, masters, and PhDs. We born in Rio, and we have a Recife branch in the northeast of Brazil. And as I said, there are so many companies that already has a lot of benefits with our solutions. And I will talk fast here, but in our journey, we were recognized for so many recognitions and institutions. And we were the first Brazilian startups to have solutions AI accelerated by NVIDIA and representing Brazil all over the world. And what we do differently, we built a no-code platform called Smart Vision that everyone can train a deep learning model, artificial intelligence model, to recognize easily with a lot of cost benefits, images and videos. So this solution is based for a bunch of our solutions that can run in edge devices. And the main solutions that we developed is here on this slide. So smart assets to identify electric assets and lighting, public lighting in the electric companies. Smart reader to read utilities meter. Smart safety eye to detect field events for safety in the field, of course. Smart reader cylinder to interpret data on cylinders. Energy watch to fraud detection. So that's it. And thank you so much for your time and attention.
Thank you, Andre. So now a presentation from Lucas, CEO at Gedanken.
The process of supplier approval and management.
First of all, good morning, everyone. I'm Lucas, co-founder and CEO of Gedanken, and bring it here to be fast and fit the time. A small video that can explain better how Gedanken helps our clients and helps the world.
The process of supplier approval and management of risk, ESG, and performance is very bureaucratic and time-consuming. Stacks of documents are requested in an endless back and forth. An onboarding process can take up to 40 days in large companies. Gedanken. Change the way your company approves and manages risk from your suppliers, just like the major market leaders do. Dramatically mitigate risk in supplier relationships and reduce the onboarding process time of your company by more than 90%. Our robots automate searching through more than 400 public databases, the documents you need to approve and understand the cadastral, fiscal, tax, social, environmental, integrity, reputation, and financial regularity of them. To approve and map the level of sustainability risk of your suppliers, and to check their reputation and that of their corporate network. In a platform carefully parameterized to your needs, suppliers answer questionnaires and attach documents, certifications, balance sheets, and vouchers. They accept terms, codes, and policies. And according to your metrics, we automatically score the risk of the suppliers, automatically approving the selected ones, or leading to a workflow that may involve all areas necessary for decision making. But since the relationship with suppliers is not a photo but a movie, after the supplier is approved, we initiate the risk monitoring of it. And every time the risk changes, you are notified and make a decision. And to close the loop of supplier risk management after the supplier approval, the platform allows the areas that are directly served by the supplier to be able to periodically evaluate their performance. Gedanken, the supplier management process that procurement, compliance, and quality teams have always dreamed of, now accessible to your company.
Thank you very much, Lucas.
Thank you, Bruno.
So let's talk now that everybody understand a little bit of what you guys do. Our idea here is to talk about the cases and what have you learned developing your companies in partnership with corporations, and also bring some light in what are the challenges of this relation, and why are you maybe interested in international cooperation? Now, why would you be ready for that? What would be interesting for you? So I'd like to start by maybe if Danielle and Andre and then Lucas, could you highlight very briefly the main case you have with the corporation, the one that you not that like it's worked and everything it's fine, but that you learned the most, that was the most relevant for your journey. Maybe we can start with Danielle.
There are so many cases that, yeah, it's hard to select one. But in general, one thing that we have learned a lot, like I said, we are in the market for, we have been in the market for 7 years now. We always think it's faster than it actually is. So all the cases I showed, they were developed with a large corporate. These companies were investing money, investing time. Sometimes we start with a proof of concept or with a pilot, but in all cases they were putting their effort. And in the beginning, we were kind of naive. We thought it would be very fast. Okay, we're going to finish a proof of concept in 3 months, and then we're going to move to pilots. And 1 year, we're going to scale to the entire country, and then moving internationally. That's not happening, So this company, I was talking to a friend the other day. Sometimes we think companies are very rational, but they are not, because humans are not rational. People change. Sometimes they have other priorities, and it's amazing because they are investing money, and then in 6 months they say, okay, we're going to stop for a while, and let's talk next year. So why invest all this time and money? Oh, everything changes here. So I'm not saying that I don't want to be pessimistic, but one thing we learned is that things, open innovation with large corporates, it takes much longer than we expect in general. So that's, if I can pick one experience we learned, I would say that.
Great, Danielle. Great, Danielle. And what about you, Andre? Can you highlight a
Yeah.
case?
Daniel was perfect. There are so many cases that we faced in the past, but since our beginning, we watch an opportunity to make the AI, to build the models, to train the machine learning more fast, more easy, and with low costs. So we face this challenge and we think, how can we solve this problem? Because to train a model, artificial intelligence model, means time, means processing, means specialized people. So at that time, at that day, a special day, realized that we could improve this process. And we have the idea to build the smart vision platform that is a totally no-code software that we can train easily a deep learning model to recognize whatever I want on things, objects, people, whatever, in videos and images. And we can do it easily with low cost and without specialized people. So this was a great learn by our side here, and we can now offer this amazing technology to all the organizations. So it was a huge learning from us for us.
Great, André. And for you, Lucas.
Bruno, we also learn a lot with our clients. So not to just take a one case, but we learn a lot with our clients and just taking when we're learning, we beginning to have our product with templates to each segment that with the help of our clients we do all the segment much better and all the new implementations much fast and the learning through one case will improve the process of all the segment. So it was we did with the companies, and now we have products and we'll have all the that we need for the regulation, for attend the government, attend the SEG of the province for each segments. So now we can help construction, health, hospitals, industry much faster, and everything that we're learning we put in a specification of the products for those segments and help all the other clients together. And when we start to do it, we start having more interactions, and not interactions but we and our clients, but also we our clients and our clients with other clients and making the product much better. And also when you talk here with the German public, also it's a case because in German we have regulations that are uh, pushing the word, in the regulations of environment, of SG, and now we have some regulations in German that are pushing Europe, and also pushing other countries to for you understand better your supply chain, because your supply chain is more than 70% of all the impact that the companies have in the world. So if you not understand your supply chain and the impact of your supply chain, it's impossible you you say that you are a sustainable company. And now in the specific cases of the German industries that work here in Brazil, also we are learning with it to attend the new regulations and make this process much better to them.
Great. Um, I was, I very close to you guys, so I know a little bit of the challenges and the development you have been going through, this journey. But since there is always like new opportunities, and Bruno Zarpellon is bringing us this opportunity to open for these collaborations with Germany companies. I would like maybe for you guys to say some words about what would be an ideal partner that you're looking for, and maybe you couldn't find it in Brazil, or you'd like maybe to validate that overseas. How a dream partner would look like for you guys that would maybe change the level of the startups you have. So if we can start with Lucas and then Andre and Daniel.
Oh, difficult one, Bruno. Uh, I, I can see just one partner, but I can see several parts in each segment for us, because we have these segments, and when we have a good partner in each kind of segment, we are we can improve all the segment in not just in a country but in other countries. uh, Now we are discussing internally how we'll go abroad, not just stay in Brazil, and offer our solutions for other countries. And also, for us, we need partners, not just clients in these countries, but what more need is partners of specific data for improve our products for specific delivered in each countries. So if I will talk here, we'll talk lots of partners that I would like, and also in Germany, have some ones that would like to develop a product that could help uh, our German clients here in Brazil, and when they have the operations also in Germany and other countries, to have all the supply chain uh, in a next level.
Great, Lucas. Andre, is this too tough question, or I'm
It's
sorry
a
about that,
no,
because
no.
it's just to like to have this highlight and people have in mind. I always like to ask myself that kind of question.
That's a great question, Bruno. No problem at all. And it's a very important question, in fact. And I think that for future smart solutions, uh, partners that wants to apply AI to improve outcomes, improve their business, and have synergies with future and with AI solutions, as I present to you, it's an amazing target for us and help future to grow abroad. And now we are in our process of internalization. So we are looking for partners, especially German partners, of course, can pick up our solutions and apply in all over the world. So maybe this is maybe not. Certainly, this is an ideal partner.
Okay, perfect. What about you, Daniel?
Yeah. Same here. Our goal is to go international always, because everything we showed here for the three companies, it's they're global solutions. So it doesn't make any sense. We shouldn't stay just in Brazil. So our goal is also to go internationally. We have an office in Finland, so the European market, it's something that we are touching. We don't have many clients yet, but we have a company there, and our goal is to grow both in Europe and US. US is always the largest market, so that's our goal. And answering your question, I think there are two things companies like Pixforce would look for. Of course, clients. As I showed, everything we developed were alongside clients. So for instance, if you think about German companies, BASF is a client of ours, and they are all over the globe. And so the idea is that we develop a solution together, and we can bring that to other countries. That's the easiest way to go international. Also, business partners or sales channels. It's very hard for a company like ours to go to Germany and start selling to everybody, you know. So it's a much easier path finding a local company that has clients, connections. In our case, connected to industries in general, Industry 4.0. So these channels, these local companies can use our AI and sell that to third parties. So I would say the channels and clients.
Great, Daniel. We've been seeing also more and more partnerships among startups. So not only larger startups acquiring smaller startups, but we see now a lot of opportunities for mergers and even with international startups. So we started a project, and I think we'll have that opportunity to work here with Germany, also to match Brazilian and German startups that might become partners, maybe merge some of their activities. I think that's also a path. We are on time now, so only the last words I'd like to mention, and then I thank you very much for this participation. So if you could just say a few words to close this panel. Let's start with Andre this time.
Okay, so I will start my last speech here with my phrase. Why not? Why not go to Germany and make the history of AI? Why not? See you together. See you all in Germany on November, right, Bruno?
On November we go, and they come in October.
Oh yes. Okay, that's right.
Okay, great.
See you there.
Thank you, Andre. Lucas.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Bruno, and 100 Open Startups. And also, we are looking for new partners, and not partners, but do business together in German, and do business together with German companies in the startups, and to have lots of things to do together. So uh, thank you, and see you in October, and probably in November also as well.
Great. Thank you, Lucas. Daniel.
Yeah, thank you all. It was very nice discussion, and we are very open. It can be different. We are a startup, so we have to be open for connections, and so companies that want to make business in Brazil, you know, we could connect here, help, do business together, and also in Europe. So thank you so much for the invitation.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. So with that, we end this panel. So thank you very much, and I'll give the word back to Bruno for the next panel.
Thank you, see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, hi, Bruno. Thank you for the moderation of this panel. It was really great. It's always important to understand the local context, hearing directly from the startups, what they are doing, what are their main challenges. So it was really very interesting. And just two comments here. Maybe one that I forgot to say in the beginning is that we are promoting the movement from Germany to Brazil, but as well the movement from Brazil to Germany. So the events, the content, and also the delegations will happen from, as I said, from Brazil to Germany, but also from Germany to Brazil. We'll explain a bit more about it later in the end of this event, about the delegations that we are promoting. But just to keep in mind that we have also the both movements happening at the same time in parallel. And another very important thing that you mentioned, Bruno, with the startups in the end of the discussion is the cooperation with other startups. Because we truly believe also in the cooperation between startups to the internalization movement, not only with clients, big companies, and investors, but we also to bring this connection with other startups. As the guy said during the last panel, the startups in other countries can be a very important partner to have as a sales channel, as a joint venture maybe, to promote it, to get the information directly for someone that know the markets. So this cooperation really interesting, and we will bring also this kind of connection during the delegations that we'll be promoting the next semesters. So thank you, Bruno, again, and I see you in the last panel. So guys, now we are having a panel about what the main stakeholders in Brazil are doing to promote the local startup ecosystems, but what are they doing also to promote the cooperation between Brazil and international countries. So for this panel, we are counting on Tatiana Farah. Tatiana Farah is Innovation Executive Manager from CNI. CNI is the National Industry Confederation. And as panelists, we're counting also with Mauricio Marques, superintendent, of entrepreneurship and investment in FINEP, and José Menezes. José Menezes is planning institutional relation manager at Embrapa. I will not explain what these institutions do because they will do it by themselves. So I'd like to invite them, Tatiana, Mauricio, and José Menezes, to join me here. And Tatiana, when you connect, please feel free also to start the panel and the discussion. Just a moment, guys, while the people connect here. Just one moment more. Let me see what's happening. Okay. I would like to ask for the guys for the organization to put Tatiana, Mauricio, and José Menezes in the screen. Let me see what's happening. Sorry, guys. Just 1 minute. I'm just seeing what's happening. I think that we have a little small problem here not in the connection, but in the streaming platform. But our staff is already working on it. Unfortunately, today I don't know what's happening in Brazil, but the internet connection is it's terrible, it's very bad. And the platform, unfortunately, has a small problem. Guys, just before we start the next panel, I would like to share some words about what our chambers do in Brazil. It was not in the agenda, but I'd like just to take these minutes while we establish the connection with the other panelists to share with you. As I said in the beginning, I hear from the HK São Paulo are already working on innovation and open innovation for 10 years. And during this time, our main clients are and were German companies locally. Ah, okay, Tatiana. Perfect. Now I think that's working. Sorry, we had a small problem here. Let me see if the other panelists are connected. Okay, all you are connected now. So I will keep my words for the end. It was not in the agenda, so don't worry. And I will pass the word to Tatiana that will moderate the panel. Thank you, Tatiana. Please feel free to start the panel to introduce the other panelists.
Perfect. Thank you, Bruno. Hello to you all. Hello, Mauricio. Hello, José Menezes. Nice to see you here. Hello to everybody online. As Bruno said, my name is Tatiana. I am from the National Confederation of Industry in Brazil. We have here with me Mauricio Marques and José Menezes, both from colleagues from peer institutions. And the three institutions work together for a long time to improve the innovation ecosystem in Brazil. I'll take just a few minutes to talk to you about what we have been doing together so that I can give the word to Mauricio and José Menezes, and then we can have a little chat on the programs and how the institutions in Brazil are supporting open innovation through these years. So I'm sharing here which is so better. Sorry, I think I used the wrong one. Slides. Oh, this not opening. Well, that's okay. I won't take it longer. So what I wanted to introduce to you is a movement in Brazil that's called Entrepreneurial Movement for Innovation that has 15 years, just like 100 open startups. This movement started with big companies in Brazil that wanted to improve the innovation ecosystem and also bring innovation to the central strategy of companies in Brazil. And we had at this moment the sense that it was at the moment of international crisis. Brazil needed to become again more competitive, needed to boost its industrial capacity. And we all believed that innovation was the only path forward. So that's why the Entrepreneurial Mobilization for Innovation was created, and the National Confederation of Industry took it as a movement to support and to coordinate, and as a movement that started discussing with the federal government, with academia, and several other institutions. We created a manifesto at this moment with some framework of what we believed at the moment to be the main and important public policies and strategies for our country to become relevant in the international scenario concerning innovation. One of the results of this manifesto and this movement was Embrapi, and so that Menezes is going to tell you us all about what Embrapi does, but it was already some institutional change that we could promote with this dialogue. The other important change that we also made in the local scenario was the creation of the 27 innovation institutes of Senai. Senai is a traditional institution in Brazil for industrial and technical and vocational learning. It's a traditional partner of German institutions, but also Senai from the last 15 years created a whole business on innovation, on science, technology, and research and development with the creation of these 27 institutes supported by Fraunhofer Institutes in Germany. So our partnership with Germany is very long, very important, and creates a little bit the path for science and technology cooperation between the two countries. So I don't want to explain more, just to give you this background of our partnership together. Today, the mobilization of industries have more than 500 CEOs, C-level leaders that participate with us, together with FINEP, Embrapi, federal entities, business entities, financial entities, startups, ecosystems, and we have a whole agenda to promote open innovation, both in Brazil and abroad. We have also an office in New York and a partnership with an international open innovation platform so that we can support both Brazilian companies that want to bring in international technologies, or also together with FINEP and Embrapi, we support startups that want to move abroad. So we train, just like 100 open startups, we train startups to a soft landing abroad. So to talk more about what the Brazilian government has been doing all over these years to support the innovation and the open innovation ecosystem, I call my colleague Mauricio Marques from FINEP. to ask about how FINEP has been contributing to the open innovation ecosystem in Brazil. Nice to talk to you, Mauricio.
Thank you, Tatiana. Good morning, José Menezes as well. It's a pleasure to be here, an honor to be participating in this panel, in this event. I did prepare a small presentation to talk about what we do here in my area at FINEP, and then we, let me, I'm sorry, just, is it going? There you go. Okay. I'm sorry. Tatiana, do you see the presentation?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So FINEP is a government-owned company linked to the Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation. This month, we are completing 56 years fostering innovation in Brazil, financing. We have different instruments to do that, and we help all the chain of innovation development that starts with research, science, and technology, and go through market introduction of new products, processes, and services. In my area here, we have entrepreneurship and investments. We help startups with these two programs, acceleration programs. And it was great to see PixForce with us here on the previous panel. They went through our Espaço FINEP acceleration, and Daniel did great. He's excellent entrepreneurship, I can tell you that. And we also have an investment program for startups. We do also invest through funds as well. This is a slide on the program that helps females entrepreneurs. We have done that for 3 years now. We have launched our 4th edition already. We are selecting the startups for this 8 weeks acceleration program, and we do partnership with many specialists because we offer lectures, we offer a one-on-one coach with the companies, and so we need to partnership with many industry specialists to help us on this task. This is the Espaço FINEP, the acceleration program that I was talking about that PixForce participated. It's not 8 months, it's a five-month duration program, and we've run 3 editions so far.
Mauricio, I think it is it's freezed. We are still in the first one. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mauricio, you can share your screen and put it on the presentation mode on PowerPoint, and then you can just follow the next slides.
Okay.
Now we can see your screen. Just put it on presentation mode. You have to share your entire screen, because that way you can't control the slides.
I'm sorry, I having trouble with the. I'm gonna go ahead if it's okay and not put on presentation mode. I think it's. I'll try it again. Can I? I'll keep
Yeah,
this
that
voice.
works.
It's better. Yeah. So I was talking.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Caio. So Mulheres Inovadoras, I was talking about this acceleration program. We have Espaço FINEP, the one that PixForce participated. And now I was going to start with the FINEP Startup. It's an investment program. Let me go a little bit faster here. We've done many public calls. We selected so far up to 30, 35 investments. Our portfolio now has 25 companies. We invest up to 1.5 million reals in each company that previous year had a revenue up to 4.8 million reals. We now have what we call a continuous flow of proposals. We don't do public calls anymore. So any startup that wants to present a proposal, FINEP will analyze, and we check the market and the products, the innovation, the team and the entrepreneur, and of course the financials of the startup. We are now currently selecting a fund manager, so this portfolio will all be transferred to the funds, and this manager will help the growing of the companies, negotiate shareholder agreements, and look for exits. And this is a slide where I brought here some of our actions regarding open innovation. FINEP is also looking for putting together the companies that we support with larger companies that have their challenges. So this is one event that happened this March with FIRJAN, the Industry Federation of Rio de Janeiro, and we select and the startups presented their solutions to companies of the health sector. And this is a program of SANEPAR, environmental sanitation, open innovation, that we also did this same approach, connecting startups with bigger companies. I'll stop here and continue later with the questions.
Okay, thank you, Mauricio. So, José Menezes, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Tatiana. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Mauricio and Bruno Zapelon, for the invitation. Just a second, I have just a few slides to guide our audience. Has the slide, have they reached you? Yep. All right, very well. So quickly, for the ones that had not had the opportunity yet of knowing Embrapi, we are a nonprofit which is linked to the Ministry of Science and Technology and has a contract, a partnership with the Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Education, Health, and Industries. And these institutions provide resources, public resources, for Embrapi to foster R&D challenges, projects that come from startups or medium, large corporations. And we have other sources of funding, for example, the National Bank of Economic and Social Development, SEBRAE, which is focused on small enterprises, and a few other sources of resources for the R&D projects that we do via open innovation in partnership between research centers, applied research centers, and the companies that reach our network of research centers with their technological challenges and the products and services that they want to develop via open innovation with the centers of our network. Embrapi, as Tatiana said, we are a result of the National Confederation of Industry, this great movement that started 15 years ago, bringing together several businesses and government and nonprofits that were together creating this movement, pro-innovation movement, and Embrapi was born in that process. And in these 10 years since we were founded, it's been more than 2,000 projects supported. And always, all the actors are co-investing in favor of that technological challenge and that new product and service that the company wants to take to the market. And Embrapi usually comes with a third of the total R&D cost of a project. The research centers, the Embrapi units, as we call them, also provide an in-kind contribution, and the companies pay the rest of the R&D project, which, by the way, they are the ones that are going to take that to the market, right? It's the challenge that comes, that is born from a company need that they identify in the market. So within these 10 years, it's been around $600 million invested in R&D in these more than 2,100 R&D projects. Quickly, just so that you have an overview, we're talking about 96 research centers in all the regions of Brazil. These are federal, these are not centers of Embrapi. We don't own them. We are a network, like Tatiana said, the great Senai Innovation Institutes, that network, several of them are also Embrapi units. We have federal universities, the best ones. We have state universities like the state of São Paulo, the Federal University in Rio. We have several. These are 96 research centers in several different competencies. And here I have just, this is likely very small for the ones that are watching us, but this is just to give a flavor of all the technical competences that these research centers of our network have. So if you think of a technological challenge, most likely there is an Embrapi unit specialized with masters and PhDs focused on the challenge that the company might have. So here I just highlighted a few on the bioeconomy agenda in the Amazon. So be it bio inputs from the Amazon, be it forest product technologies, biochemistry of renewables, electrochemistry, medical biotech, biotechnology applied to crops, whatever it is. These are just some of the ones, biophotonics, some of the technological competences that you will find within the bioeconomy. But this could be laser, this could be IoT, this could be visual computing, any challenge that you think. Just to conclude, in terms of international cooperation, if it's the case, we may talk afterwards, but there is a broad, more than 10 cooperations that Embrapi has, bilateral and regional cooperations also, so that we support companies that are willing to work together across borders. So I'll stop here, Tatiana, and thank you all once again, and it's a pleasure.
Thank you both. Well, we lost him. Well, thank you both. And I think that Jose Menezes just gave me, I think we have time just for a little overview. And my question would be exactly on this for us to debate how international cooperation can boost and improve innovation in Brazil, and what are our plans as institutions to support this. So while Jose Menezes is coming, he's coming back. But Mauricio, could you tell a little bit more about this international cooperation of FINEP, and then Jose Menezes will also talk a little bit more about the international cooperation results and what are the plans for the future for international innovation, international cooperation in Embrapi.
Yes, sure, Tatiana. Here at FINEP, we have a department specialized, it's dedicated to international cooperation. So they identify, negotiate, and make the follow-up on the initiatives that we have with international partners. And we have many kinds of partnerships. Of course, open innovation, and I'm not sure if we have anyone right now on place, but I'm sure we can work and this department is always looking for opportunities to partner with any part of the world. They also promote events involving these organizations from other countries. So we have a number of events that we try to bring people from abroad, and also we can take people from Brazil up to other countries. So there are missions that can be done either way in order to help this cooperation. And locally, we have, I think, the more active, besides the acceleration and investment programs that we have, our credit, and we do that through grants, for instance, or a regular credit for companies. We also have programs that stimulate the partnership between companies, startups with larger companies, for instance. We help other ministries, agencies, for instance, a health agency, the sanitation agency, to put together technological challenges that startups can bring. We have an artificial intelligence recent challenge that we organized to give grants to startups, and it's a way of finding problems to that the local, the national agencies, they know that is needed. So these solutions, they are very welcome, and FINEP helps doing that. Okay.
José Menezes, and what about Embrapi and all those amazing partners that you have?
Well, it's very interesting. Embrapi has been for several years now cooperating with different countries and programs, and it is a challenge when you think of that the companies need to find a partner abroad that is willing to work on R&D together. So that's a challenge with all countries, right? And that's why organizations like AHK here and the work that they do is so important to bridge opportunities with startups and large corporations, with small enterprises bilaterally. But so finding the right partners is the key aspect, in my perspective, of international cooperation. Once you have two potential actors that are willing to work together on R&D projects, then you have several mechanisms, like Mauricio mentioned very well, and Embrapi is one of those that may help the companies do those R&D projects together. So we have 13 partnerships, to be more specific. At this moment, Tatiana, we have until the end of September with IRA SME, the network, the umbrella, right, that is fostered, coordinated by BMWK in the German ministry, and also Fraunhofer. But this is an opportunity at this moment for German enterprises, for enterprises from Belgium, from Luxembourg and Turkey. And so companies that have R&D challenges that are interested in cooperating with Brazilian enterprises, small enterprise, small and medium, evidently, right, because it's the IRA SME umbrella. But until September, this opportunity, this great window for projects is open. And the institutions, Embrapi here, we don't have a fixed timing. We work on it's a free flow according to the company's demand. So here within the Brazilian companies, if they are incorporated here in Brazil, we work anytime that they want to do an R&D project, right? There's no RFP, there's no project that they need to submit. We work in a different mode. And but we need to connect this with the foreign partners. So that's why I'm saying that until September, there's a specific opportunity with our SME, which involves Germany, evidently. So this is a broad and quick overview, Tatiana.
That's great. Thank you so much. I think that one of the most important things that our institutions provide for companies that want to cooperate is to give this platform to create trust. I think trust is the first basis for internationalization. I myself, as an internationalist, working with innovation for a long time, I see that for you to internationalize, you must be innovating always. And internationalization is a movement that fosters innovation in both senses. So we have all our programs, our platforms to support. And I thank you, Mauricio, thank you, José Menezes, for bringing in what FINEP and Embrapa has been doing. And now us here from CNI, from the Innovation Unit, we are also open to questions, to doubts. And if any of you want to hear more from us, please let us know and connect with us. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you a lot, guys. Thank you, Tatiana. Tatiana represents a very important for us at CNI. As I said, CNI is the National Industry Confederation. And as we have, different activities to promote the bilateral cooperation between Brazil and Germany. We have different partners on them. And CNI is supporting specifically the movement from Brazil to Germany. So as I said before, we're having also this movement from Brazil to Germany, not only from Germany to Brazil. And regarding this movement specifically, CNI is one of the most important partners, as they have already agenda of internalization of R&D and innovation projects. And just to highlight one topic that I think that was very important in the last panel, is that as in Germany, Brazil have a lot of incentives and calls to promote innovative projects and R&D projects locally. But not only locally, we have also a lot of incentives and tools that promote the bilateral cooperation. I think that at least we have at least one or two calls per year for projects between Brazil and Germany. And it's a very nice opportunity, as José Menezes has just explained also. We have a call open now for projects together with Brazilian and German companies, can be startups as well. So it's very important to you to understand that here in Brazil, we also have this kind of incentives and tools, as you have in Germany, to promote and also to optimize the financial risk of innovation R&D projects. So keep it in mind when you're coming to Brazil, or for the startups in Brazil that are coming to Germany. And our last panel, we will talk more about the experience that big companies and established companies have regarding open innovation. In the first panel, we talk more about it, about the open innovation initiatives, but giving for you and sharing with you the vision of the startups. And now we are having the same discussion about open innovation in Brazil, but bringing the vision from the established companies, from some big companies. One company I think that's very well known for you, that's BSF. So I'd like to invite Ornella to join me here. And another company that's very important for Brazil, that export a lot to Germany, is one of the most innovative and biggest companies in Brazil, that's WEG. So I'd like also to invite Alexandre to take part, one very important German and one very important Brazilian company here with us, and two companies that are very established in Brazil regarding open innovation. That's why we also invited them to join this discussion with you, because they really have very nice stories, a very nice experience on open innovation, and it will be amazing to have the discussion with you. And to start the discussion, Ornella and Alexandre, my first question is to get to know a little bit more from you. So what is your relation and the relation from your company with open innovation? I'd like to start with Ornella.
Well, hello everybody. Hi Bruno, hi Ale. Thank you for the invitation. It's very good to be here presenting our case, and after these interesting exhibitions that we have already heard, and to share our experiences and our challenges and that. So as you mentioned, I am representing BASF here in South America. I'm responsible for open innovation, And you may know BASF, the one of the largest chemical companies from German origin, that we are present in many industries when we wake up until we go to sleep, in the mobility, nutrition, care, wellness, agriculture, construction, and many other industries. And as you may imagine, all these industries has a lot to do with the sustainability challenges. That's why our motto is creating chemistry for sustainable future. And open innovation is key because these challenges are so big and so difficult to tackle that anyone cannot solve it alone. So it's very necessary for us to combine knowledge, combine expertise, combine experiences in order to find collaborative solutions for things that are already challenges, but for some of them that didn't arise yet, but we need to be prepared. Yeah.
Thank you, Ornella. And Alexandre, what is your relation with open innovation? And what's the relation from WEG with open innovation? And maybe you can also say more words about WEG, because BSF,
Yeah.
the people in Germany already know a lot, but I don't know if what they know about WEG now. So it would be very nice if you can share some words about you.
Yeah, thank you for invite. It's very nice to talk about WEG and about open innovation. WEG Group is a Brazilian group. We have 9 business units. I think the principal one is a motor, electrical motors. This is the beginning of the group. I am a head of open innovation in the WEG coaching business unit. WEG have 40,000 employees around the world. We have 15 manufacturing sites in 15 countries. And like you said, 16% of our revenue come from products launched in the last 5 years. But I think the big challenge for me and the WEG group is about we are very, very good in the closed innovation. It's an engineer company. It's not easy to change this culture about to make co-development. I think the last business unit of the WEG launched is the digital solution, and the WEG bought 4 startups in the M&A solution. Is not the CVC or something. Is like the classic M&A, and they build a new business unit. But like I said, I focus in the WEG coaching. We have we buy from BASF and another company, chemistry company. We made vanishes for our motors. This is the big products, the big strategy for the group. But we have industrial coaching too. I think the big challenge is why we're talking about open innovation, because we need to innovate or die is a simple, is a basic, but I think the challenge is you balance the accuracy and the speed. All the time we have an innovation, it's a closed innovation many times, and you have some slow maturity curve to new technical and a new business model. I think the digital transformation is a hit directly in the business model, asking about the current business model, and you need to develop new ones. And I think this is the important to you talk with ecosystem. Like I said, for example, if you're running and you need to hit a target, it's more difficult when you're running if you stop it in some place. Because this you need to listen the clients to give more accuracy of the new development, and how you give more speed. Working with ecosystem. My background is ecosystem. I worked in the hub innovation in the tech park, and I think that is the big challenge for us. But starting the culture, right? But I think you need to go work with ecosystem to take more speed in the innovation process.
Thank you, Alexandre. Thank you a lot for the information about what you are doing, also about WEG. This story is very interesting. It's very nice, and I have to share with you because a lot of times when I'm in Germany, visit some companies, some big companies. We're very used to go to Stuttgart to visit the industries there, with the focus in the industry of the future. In a lot of times, I saw VEG products in Germany, in German companies, walking in the plants, in the manufacturing plants. I saw VEG there, VEG here. So it's something that we're very proud to see that VEG, as a Brazilian company, is also exporting Brazil national technology outside. So congratulations. In Ornella, Alexandre was talking about the connection with the ecosystems, that the connection with the ecosystem is a very nice tool to leverage the innovation, even the close innovation. And regarding it, what BSF is doing to promote this connection? What kind of programs or tools are you running to really get in contact, not only get in contact, but to really uh, get the benefits about what the ecosystem can offer for you and other companies?
Well, happy to share this information, and important to talk a little bit about governance. Yeah, I'm representing here Open Innovation, which is highly decentralized here at BASF, in order to have more scalability and reach more ecosystems and do the most with the different industries we are working on, and also connecting among ourselves in order to identify new opportunities. Yeah, in that regard, when we talk about decentralization, we have several initiatives and connected to different stages of the ecosystem, and specifically of startups. That is what we are focusing here. Yeah. So when we talk about the tools and the initiatives, we connect on different bases. On the first hand, in order to promote culture, to be connected, to know a little bit more about the different ways of working and how can we learn from the other. Yeah, that's the very beginning. But then the idea is to, of course, not only to learn, but to prototype and then to make new businesses. So we work from the very beginning of these connections, as I mentioned before, but then we have also different type of incubation programs, acceleration programs, and also, of course, investments through our venture capital branch, which is global. Yeah, I would like to focus a little bit of what we do at ONONO, which is our digital and experience innovation center here in South America, which was born in South America. It's not a global entity. It's something, an initiative that was born here, where we work not only with open innovation for BASF challenges, but also for customer challenges, which lead us to connect with the ecosystem in many different areas and many different types of and stages of startups, in order to be able to promote solutions that are beyond our chemistry. So connecting this kind of of knowledge and of experiences and of technologies, we can provide a better solution, not only for ourselves, but for our customers, which is interesting. And I'm mentioning this in this space because since we have Brazilian and German startups, we are going beyond the borders. Yeah. And that's the beauty of open innovation and in that regard. So we connect that. And we also have another initiatives globally that we can share. But for example, one that could be interesting here as well is our incubator, which is called Chemovator, which has open programs. So it's interesting how we are connecting even more. Even we were born as a local initiative, how we are connecting with the external networks, in other countries from the BASF network, in order to expand this impact of the connection with the ecosystem.
Thank you, thank you, Ornella. And Ornella, you have just said that you have some initiatives that are global initiatives. You have it the other side. No, it's more local, but you have also some worldwide initiatives. Regarding these worldwide initiatives, have you already had the opportunity to work together with foreign startups locally? Do you already have some projects with some foreign startups in Brazil?
We have, because since our challenges are quite difficult due to the industries that we deal with, which are every, we don't limit ourselves to Brazil, especially to South America. We want to promote, of course, because it's also national promotion and we want to promote the relationship with the ecosystem. But where we don't find solutions here, or we help to build them, trying to help in the acceleration process because we want to promote the national ecosystem as well. But we also go outside. There are some challenges where we have already worked outside with countries such as the United States, Canada, Germany, of course, our global network, and we have these connections, and we try to make the process more smooth, in order to try to do this proof of concepts in a more flexible way. We are open. It's always easier when we work together here in the same country, but we are open to doing that, and our global networks is also very open, and we can connect because sometimes we can connect startups from Germany from a challenge which is already in Europe, and it's also easier to do this bridge through our network.
Perfect. Thank you a lot, Sarnella. And Alexandre, regarding VEG, what kind of startups are you looking for? Do you have a specific profile or startups that for you is more interesting or no?
Yes, I can say about the vegan coaching because I am in this business unity. We have 5 technological roads. I think this is the main goal of the Open Innovation and R&D department. I think is a very interesting for us the nanotech startups because the nanotechnology in the coaching is I don't know if the next step. I think this time is not more future. I think is the present, right? I think more future is about the smart materials. We're talking a lot in this area, like I said, the medium and long range, but we are already talking about this. ESG, I think this is the full in these days. Another one is the medium and long range is about data driven because in the chemistry is not normally you have software for simulation like you have an engineer, electronic engineer, you have a lot of softwares. The chemistry is a manual and you do something formulas and etc. and the tests, and we are working in something like more digital computer simulation for developing our products. We have one project with a Brazilian startup with the simulation software, and we have a project in the FINEP. In the last panel, we talked about the FINEP. We made one project together to take a grant in the FINEP program. I think that is open innovation is not only with startups and the CVC. You have open innovation in the university. We made this many years. Okay, the VEG have a partnership with the university around the world and another institutes. People always look in the startups only CVC or no. You can do, like I said, basic project. You submit to a grant and you can develop, like I said, we have this project is a very nice project. And I have another FINEP project with another big corp with VEG, and the Nexa is another company. We made this project and made open innovation project with FINEP. But answer your question is this is the technical roads you are looking for.
Okay, thank you, Alexandre. And you were talking now about the profile of startups that we're looking for, more hard tech, more industrial startups. It's something that's very interesting for us and also for Germany because we know that the DNA from Germany came from the industry. The industry there is very strong, but we have also a very strong industry in Brazil.
And regarding something regarding the verticals and the interesting points, since we are talking with also a German audience, clean tech is also very interesting. And specifically on circular economy and carbon management, I think that there's a lot that we could do together, anticipating perhaps other question. If you are asking on what we can collaborate, combining Ale's answer, I think that these areas are very interesting for us to explore together.
Yeah, I totally agree, Ornella. We know that Brazil is a merged country, so unfortunately we have a lot of problems related to environment and social field. But that's why, as we have a lot of problems, we have also a lot of startups working on it. So we have a lot of nice clean techs, but also impact business happening in Brazil. So it's a very nice opportunity, and we know also that Germany is looking for it. It's also promoting funding, and but especially looking for this kind of solution. And sorry, guys. And as I said, unfortunately, in Brazil, we have this kind of problem, and the startups always seek to solve problems of the society. We have really some very good startups. Just a moment. Sorry. So we really have a very nice opportunity between both countries regarding clean techs, impact business, and this kind of startups and solutions, because we have a really demand in Germany. We have a very nice offer here in Brazil as well when we talk about Industry 4.0. So it's a very nice topic that we can explore. And we would like to explore throughout this first delegation that we are running the second semester, because the idea is to focus in the industry of the future. So when we talk about the industry of the future, bringing also this kind of topics, yeah, because as I said, strategic for both countries, not only strategic, but really have amount of interesting startups that could be interesting in this kind of initiative. And regarding it, not only clean techs or tech business, I'd like to ask for you both, what, in your opinion, are the main opportunities and assets that we have in the local startup ecosystems? I will start with Alexandre. In your opinion, Alexandre, what do you think that's the main assets and opportunities that we have in Brazil regarding startups? What are our main skills or, as I said, assets that we have that's nice to highlight for the Germans about our local ecosystem?
Yeah. I think the Brazilian ecosystem have a strong part in the hard techs and the deep techs. Brazilian have huge universities and benchmark institutes in the many areas, because this, I believe, the deep techs and the hard techs in Brazil is a good opportunity to develop and the co-development in the Brazilian. But like I said, to be very clear, is not about manufacturing problem, because this WEG have a strong expertise. We have a business unity. We have a solution for Industry 4.0. I have challenges in for example, in the bio-based solution, the net zero, to achieve the net zero, the VOC, I think the smart materials, like I said, and the nanotech. And I believe Brazilian ecosystem have this strong engineer background, but sometimes you have a problem with the language. Only Brazil speak Portuguese in the South America, and I think that is the problem for the local ecosystem. And we have one problem is Brazilians have a big market, because this normally the startups think locally, not globally. I support some startup in my past experience, professional experience in the tech part, and I think the good opportunity is to make the partnership. You can look, you have a good startups in the ecosystem, Brazil ecosystem, but normally think locally, not globally. I think that is the key point for Germany startup. We can do a representative, you can represent this startup in the European market, or of course, can do co-development to make a innovation solution. But I think the key point is about the locally mindset of our ecosystem, startups and ecosystem, because this is a very, very important this webinar and the work of the agency and the 100 Open Startup Group.
Yeah, no, it's perfect, Alexandre. And one thing that I'd like to highlight is the issue of the size of the market, because in Brazil, we really
It's a great market.
It's not like in Argentina, is a small, it's not the big market like in Brazil. I think this is a, I don't know correct word, but is a good thing, but I think it's a bad thing. It's not a
yeah,
good thing.
and that's my point, because for Brazilian startups, it could become a problem because they are very used only to focus in the local market because it's already huge. So if they can cover the whole local market, it's already something very big. But when they focus on the local market, maybe they cannot be so competitive when they compare with other startups that are looking globally. But
But I want to complete. And another problem, normally the R&D centers, the principal one, is not in Brazil. That is very difficult for the hard techs and the deep techs in Brazil, because normally the principal R&D department is not here in Brazil. They are in another countries. I think that is the big challenge for deep techs and hard techs in Brazil.
yeah, but I'd like to highlight the other side of it. That's for the German startups and other startups for other countries. Because as Brazil is a huge market, we really have some huge opportunities in Brazil. Even looking only for some specifically sectors like agribusiness or clean techs or bio-based products or industry 4.0, EI, they are only alone, they are already big and they're already huge. So for you, it can be very interesting. We know that German startups in the beginning they preferred for the first steps to go to other countries in Europe, but take a time to look to Brazil. We really have some very nice opportunities locally. Really have some very nice companies like BSF, VEG, and other big ones looking and seeking for some good startups. And as well, we have a very strong venture capital ecosystems in Brazil that is growing a lot in the last years. So it's very interesting. And to finish our discussion, I'd like to ask a question to Ornella. Ornella, you have already been in other countries, looking to the other open innovation ecosystems. So you have this broad overview about what's happening worldwide. And having this experience, what kind of unique value proposition do you think that Brazil could offer comparing to other countries? Is there anything that say, okay, it worth to be highlighted? It's something that Brazil is unique and other countries don't have, or at least in Brazil, stronger than in other countries. Is there any unique value proposition from Brazil that could highlight?
Okay, that's interesting because I'm not Brazilian, so I can give
Yeah,
also another
but that's the point,
overview.
because you have this broad overview. For me,
Yeah,
I would find a lot.
no, I find a lot, and I have summarized, totally agree with what Ale has already said. And also one comment on that point before answering, that is also, even if startups here are not born global, at least at the beginning, in the collaboration with big corporations or medium corporations that are international, we can help to internationalize. That's another way of working. And regarding value proposition or unique proposition, I would summarize as know-how, yeah, flexibility and resilience, yeah, because here in South America, entrepreneurs are resilient by design, but entrepreneurs in South America need to be more resilient, and especially diversity of not only of know-how of different type of people and connections is really very important. I think that is very very key here. And something that is not very scientific, but I need to mention, is optimism. Yeah, the ecosystem here is always finding new ways of doing things and of looking of the positive side of things and how we are going to solve these future challenges. For giving not some numbers, but some hints, the last week was launched the Global Startup Ecosystem Report, which is quite interesting regarding on which Brazilian ecosystem can also offer. And I think these points are really important to take into consideration.
So, Ornella, thank you a lot for to share experience with us. Thank you, Alexandre, also to share experience and also some information from WEG. We hope you can count on you also to receive the startups in November. Of course, it would be very nice to visit your companies to understand how can the startups that are coming from Germany can cooperate with you. With WEG, we know that there is a lot of opportunities due to the industry, mobility with BSF, also about clean techs, bio-based products, and other ones. So, of course, it would be very nice to have you on board.
And
Thank
we
you
have many
again.
open challenges, so please follow our channels. Then we can share with the participants so that they can also submit your ideas and proposals.
Thank you, Ornella, for the advice. Thank you, Alexandre. So now we are almost in the end of our event. I will just change, because now I'm talking from my cell phone, I will change to the computer because I would like to share the screen with you. So just one moment. Let me see.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Now it's better. I can share my screen with you. As I said before, today we'd like to launch also our delegation to Brazil. Our idea here is not only to promote content about the Brazilian ecosystem, but really to promote the cooperation, new business and investments between Brazil and German ecosystems. So that's why I would like to present you this delegation. Just a moment to share my screen. Just a moment, guys. I'd like also to invite Bruno Rondani to take part of this speech now with me. Sorry, guys, just one moment. They were having a lot of problems regarding the internet, but we went soon. I think that you can see the presentation. Can you see my screen? Caio or Rondani?
Yes,
please
yes,
let me
it's
know
working, Bruno.
Happening. Okay, I think that you can see my screen now. I will try to be very briefly. I will not go so deep in what is it, because the main idea we have already shared to you. But as I said before, we from the German Brazilian Chamber of Commerce in São Paulo, together with 100 Open Startups, represented here by Bruno Rondani, and supported by very important partners in Brazil and Germany, we are organizing some events, delegations to promote this bilateral cooperation between the startup ecosystem from both countries. And specifically today, we're talking about the initiatives that we have to promote this cooperation from Germany to Brazil. So bringing German startups, established companies, as well as investors to get known the Brazilian startup ecosystem, to get in contact with important stakeholders and also possible partners to diversify their business locally. Here is I'd like to share very quickly our main mission, also the goals of this program that we're offering for you. So the main mission here is to promote the bilateral cooperation, as I already have said, also as well the internalization and the internationalization and internalization of startups and open innovation initiatives. Do we need to like to promote the awareness of the importance of the internalization of open innovation activities, to display the main technology and light height projects between both countries and local projects, and also to promote the connection with potential partners such as clients, investors, and other startups, and also to support you in the diversification of your business here in Brazil. The target audience of these initiatives not only startups, but we are looking and inviting also companies to take part on it, investors and actors of the startups ecosystem, so stakeholders from Germany. And why we are inviting them? We believe that for the startups, a very nice opportunity to internalize their business. For companies, it's very interesting also this movement of the internalization of the open innovation initiatives. Why not a big German company can get in contact with a local startups when they are looking to clean techs or bio-based products? In Brazil, we have more than 200 startups working on biodiversity, trying to bring the biodiversity to biotechnology. So we have a very nice opportunity on it. So it can be important also from German companies, established companies, to get in contact with them. Also, it's interesting for German investors when you look for diversification of investments. And as I said before, we're inviting also stakeholders from Germany to get on board of this delegation, to run some benchmarking of other countries, other hubs. That's something that's very important. We would like also to promote the bilateral cooperation through the connection of stakeholders from both countries. The main topic of the first edition of these delegations is industry of the future. And when we talk about the industry of the future, we're talking also about green technologies, like as clean techs, digitalization and industry for the future, energy transition that's also involved in when you talk about green techs, as well as logistic and mobility. So it's a very broad topic because for the first edition, we prefer to define not so specifically one, but a topic that could be interest for a bigger amount of startups and companies. That's why we're bringing this topic. And as we say, it is very interesting and strategic for both countries. Just to you to understand the region of the agenda, how we set the agenda, what are the main premise that you use to build the agenda that you have in Brazil, we have three main points. One is briefing by actors of the startup ecosystems. So when you arrive in Brazil, when you arrive in São Paulo, when you arrive in Rio de Janeiro, we would like to share with you a briefing about what is the main economic facts in Brazil, what are the main startup facts, what are the main venture capital facts in Brazil that's important to you to know to have business locally. And of course, for this moment, we will bring important partners such as government representatives, association representatives, and so on. We're also promoting the connection with potential partners, clients, and investors through matchmakings, happy hours, and interaction during the visits. So in every moment of the delegation, we will be having contact with clients, investors, or at least with other startups that could be partners of you in this movement of internalization. So our focus really to promote connections, cooperation, business, and investments between both countries. So every time we will use for it. And to compose the agenda, we count on also with visits to companies, research institutions, and innovation hubs to highlight lighthouse projects that we have in Brazil regarding the topic of the industry of the future. So we'd like to share with you content, the briefing by some local stakeholders. We will promote these connections through different activities, such as one-to-one matchmaking, but also happy hours, brunch, dinners, and also during the visits. And we would like to show to you some very nice lighthouse projects to present what Brazil is doing and what kind of solutions Brazilian companies are looking for. And here we have the agenda of this delegation. Of course, up to now, I don't have the names that are still being confirmed for the agenda, but we can already share with you the main idea, overview about what we will have in Brazil. So the delegation will start in São Paulo. So the first day we will be here. In the morning, we will have a briefing of the local startups, venture capital, and economic landscape, shared by the colleagues from HK, but also colleagues from the government and from some stakeholders. During the lunch, we will promote a networking event with some local stakeholders in a startup hub, maybe in Nonono. We are already in conversation with Ornella. And in the end of this year, we will run a one-to-one matchmaking event with potential clients, investors, and other startups. And really a one-to-one matchmaking event to have some nice contacts in a structured way to you. Now, if Bruno, if you'd like also to share here about the second to the fourth day, where we will be in Rio de Janeiro, please feel free.
Yes, of course, Bruno. So we have.
Is here with us. Let me see.
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, Bruno's here, but you are muted. I don't
muted.
know, I cannot hear you.
I'm not muted in my computer.
I'll start
here.
talking. If Bruno Rondani can join, no problem. Just say. But during the second, third, and fourth day, we will be in Rio de Janeiro.
Bruno?
The group will take part in the Rio Innovation Week, the event
Rondani,
that
você me ouve?
present to you in the first pitch.
I can
o Bruno não está ouvindo a
like
gente.
just a regular participant, but we will have like VIP access to all activities in all areas of the event, such as side events, dinners, lunch, happy hours, and other ones. You will also have the opportunity to pitch your business, to pitch your startups on a special session in the event. And also during the event, we will have a lot of matchmaking sessions, also one-to-one with potential clients, investors, and other startups. I really can say that only in this event, you'll be able to have more than, if you do your job, organize yourself, and also we'll support you to it. You can have more than 50 meetings, individual meetings, only during the Rio Innovation Week with some very important partners, clients, and investors. And also during our visit in Rio de Janeiro, we will visit some startup hubs, but as well some companies that could be clients of you here in Brazil. And yeah, here we have some images of the event. Yeah, but I think that Bruno has already shared more information about it, so I will not go deeper. But I can say that Rio Innovation Week is one of the biggest events in Brazil focused on startups. Yeah, even bigger than, I think, South Summit and also Web Summits that happen here in Brazil, not the South Summit and Web Summits that happen in Portugal and Spain, but the local events that we had this year. Yeah, nowadays, I think that's the biggest event
Bruno,
that we have in Brazil regarding startups.
Can you hear me, Bruno?
And of the Oil Week that's promoted by 100 Open Startups, we will have one of the biggest business speed datings with more than 2,500 startups taking part.
Bruno?
Here's some more information about it. Bruno has already shared. And the delegation will finish in São Paulo. So first day in São Paulo and the last day in São Paulo. And in the last days, we'll keep the visits in some startups hubs and some companies that could be clients, but also a place that will get in contact with other stakeholders. For example, in Brazil, we have some very nice hubs, such as the Google Hub and other ones that there are a lot of startups and companies. So you also use these moments to get in contact with the people that are in these hubs, not only to visit them, but really to interact with the people that there are. And during this day, we will have like a lunch with investors, venture capital, and corporate venture capitals. For this moment, we invite around 15 investors to take part and get in contact with you. And also, as I said before, we will visit a lighthouse project from a company that's already working on the topic industry of the future. And to finish, of course, we will have a very nice happy hour with some invitees of the ecosystems, not only to celebrate, but to really stretch the relation between both countries. We know that always with a beer, the things get easier. So let's finish with some nice beers and caipirinhas in Brazil. And that's it. I'd like to invite all of you to take part in this delegation to Brazil. It will happen in October from 2 to 6. Uh, we will send to you more information by email with the cost, what is included, what is not included. But I can say that's a unique opportunity for you. We will bring to you the best of the Brazilian startup ecosystems. And I can say also that are working with the best stakeholders in Brazil, the most important stakeholders in Brazil, such as Embrap, FINEP, 100 Open Startups. All of them are on board with us in this initiative. We have already some very nice contacts established with investors associations, with other events, of other hubs. So we really have some good contacts that we bring to you, but not only the contacts, but our experience and our supports to really have one-to-one connections that can bring a very nice opportunities, not only in the future, but in the short term for all the participants. So that's it from my side. I don't know if Bruno would like to share something with you.
Yes, Bruno, can you hear me now? Caio, can you hear me?
Bruno, I
Yes.
cannot hear you.
Bruno, can you
Okay,
hear
don't,
me?
don't worry. I think that today was a little bit problematic regarding the internet connection, the platform. I'm sorry for it, but I think that we could share with you the main informations about our ecosystems. It was a pleasure to have you today, and it would be a pleasure to receive you in October here in Brazil, in the biggest event and the best startup ecosystems in the South America, that's São Paulo. So thank you a lot, you guys. Thank you, Bruno Rondoni, for the partnership. Thank you a lot, Caio, for the support here during the event. And see you soon in São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro with a caipirinha. Bye.
And business.
Bruno, please feel free to say a few words.